Good morning, YouTube. This might be the best video I've ever made, or maybe it's the worst. You guys can decide. But I'm out now with the dog, Bellini. You can see her back there probably. Conda! Come! So are you? What I've been doing basically is I sat down at 5 o'clock this morning and was scripting out a video. And that video is about getting started on YouTube and the difficulties that some people have. And as I was doing that, I realised, well, one of the things I was telling people to do was just, hit record and get started. And Conda. And so I thought, well, why don't you do that as to kind of prove the point? Because it's easy to sit there in a scripted video in a studio and tell people, just get started, just press record. But why don't you go out and do it yourself? Because something I've always thought myself as a manager of people was that I would always or never ask someone to do something that I wasn't prepared to do myself. And so then I thought, well, why don't you go out and actually record a video this morning? And just do it 100% natural, no script, no plan, nothing at all. And so I was sitting there, and at 5 in the morning I was doing this video. I thought, yeah, I'll go out later with the dog and I'll do a video. And I was sitting, I was scratching away at my chin. I hadn't shaved for a couple of weeks or so. And so I went upstairs, shaved and had a shower, and then looked in the mirror when I got out of the shower and see all my chin's all red. It's gone sore where I've, it's been irritating me, I guess. And I thought, oh, can't do a video now, can you? And then I realised that's exactly what I should do. Because one of those things I talk about in the video is that you're worried, maybe people worry to get started because they're concerned that people might not like their appearance or something like that. And I thought, what perfect or more perfect demonstration can there be to go out when things aren't perfect and record and don't care and say, I don't care. If people look at me, I'm a normal person just like you. So if people look at me, oh, I can't watch that. Okay, then you're not the right people. Thanks for taking the time to jump in and see you later, And I think that's the way you've got to think. It's not always going to be perfect. I've got the dog with me. I was thinking, oh, she's going to poop when I'm walking around, which she has done twice. But luckily she did it before I started filming. But I thought, it's just life, isn't it? Right? It doesn't have to be perfect. You just put something out there because it can be valuable to people, to inspire them to do something. And then one thing I was thinking about was that my dad had this back in, I think it was like the late 80s, early 90s. He had this massive video camera that you put on your shoulder. You see them sometimes now in, I guess, TV crews and stuff. But that was all you could get back then. There wasn't any smartphones or any small cameras. It's this massive thing with its own bag that you had to carry around. Everything weighed a ton. And I remember him filming on holidays and things. And back then it was unusual to see anyone filming anything unless you were a TV crew. So obviously, I'm sure he got a lot of looks, and I never thought about it much as a kid, I guess. But I'm sure he got a lot of weird looks. But he also used to walk around and narrate the video. So he used to talk to the people in the video and say, what are you doing, where are we, and all this other stuff. And he must have had loads of people looking at him. And I guess he just didn't care, And that made me realise, if he can walk around with a massive camera on his shoulder, filming people with pretty much everybody looking at him and thinking, what is he doing? And we can't, we've got these phones in our pockets now, and we can all do that. And it's normal to see people walking around filming themselves or talking to someone on Bluetooth, headset or whatever it is. And but we can't, film ourselves. And we're worried about what people might think when everybody's walking around basically doing it the whole time. But my dad could do it when, back like 35 years ago or whatever it was. So that made me think a little bit as well, there's something to that, isn't there? And so I thought I'd just literally come out today and just film a video, not have any script, no plan, way less than perfect in everything. Just to say to you guys that if you're thinking about getting started, just do it. Just press the button. If I can do this now, you can do it too. Now, something else that sort of came up in my thoughts then was that one of the reasons that people don't want to get started is because they think that everybody fails. And you know, there's some stats. I don't think there's any official stats, but like I said, no research for this video, so I don't know, maybe there is. But I've seen all these figures thrown around, you know, like 90% of people fail and all this other stuff. And I thought, well, if that's the case, you know, you can use any statistics or numbers to justify anything. But really, that doesn't mean anything, because I have, I think, 4 YouTube accounts, sorry. My kids, I think my son has 3 or 2. My wife has 1. You know, my daughter has 1. None of those accounts are used in any way to sort of be a monetized YouTube channel. They're all for consumption. And just going to change arms there. They're all for consumption, you know. So you hear, oh, 90% of channels aren't monetized. Well, no shit. You know, because why would they be? I mean, most people are just watching videos. They're not making videos. So I mean, there's all these reasons you can come up with to not get started. So I'll release that video maybe tomorrow, something like that. If you want to watch that, it'd be a little bit more, what should I say, detailed, I guess. A lot more to it than this, and a lot more planned out than this. But if you're interested in that, take a look tomorrow, because it might help you to get started. But anyway, I'm going to go now. We're going to finish our walk. But yeah, hopefully that inspired you. Hope to see you in the next video. Take care. Thanks for watching.